health insurance plans.
This New Year's Eve, country's biggest stars are throwing America's biggest bash, Nashville style, featuring Kelsey Ballerini, Brooks and Dunn, Zach Brown Band, and many more.
Come spend New Year's with us.
New Year's Eve Live, Nashville's Big Bash, Saturday starting at 8/7 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
From the News 12 family to yours, we're wishing you a happy holiday season.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, first at 4.
Travel chaos continues as Southwest Airlines cancels thousands more flights today. Why even more disruption could be on the horizon? But first at 4, remembering former Aiken Mayor Fred Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh passed away at his home last night. He was elected mayor in 1991 and re-elected for several terms after that, serving for 24 years before retiring in 2015. News 12's Maria Sellers spoke with those who knew him about the legacy he leaves behind.
Well, people who knew him through his work with the public remember him as someone who made people feel special and a leader who listened to both sides of an argument before making a decision. And while he may be gone, leaders on both sides of the government say his legacy will live on, especially downtown. A statue of Mayor Kavanaugh stands in downtown Aiken and memorializes his 24 years of service. It's an appropriate place for it, as people who knew him say they remember him for all he did for revitalizing downtown Aiken and turning it into the city it is today. Leaders on both sides of Aiken County's government are remembering him and what it was like to work with him.
The working relationship, if he needed anything, if he needed help from the county with anything, he knew all he had to do was call and we would work together. He was very easy to work with. He was just a fantastic guy, and he will be greatly missed.
Coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from the current mayor about the impact and influence Kavanaugh had on him. In Aiken, Maria Sellers on your side.
A lot of people remembering Mayor Fred Kavanaugh today. Councilwoman Leslie Price saying, in part, I served with Mayor Kavanaugh for 28 years and never had an unpleasant moment with him. I also worked with him at Savannah Riverside, and he transferred his integrity from the workplace to governing. On a personal note, he was close to my family and regularly asked about my children. He was a God-fearing man whose legacy will continue to live on. Taking a look outside.
About New Year's Eve forecast coming up in about 10 minutes. Laura, back to you.
2 people are dead after a car crash last night right outside of McCormick County. State troopers say it happened around 7 p.m. on Highway 28. They say a Cadillac was going down the highway when it crossed the center line, hitting another car. Both drivers died at the scene. The coroner says 36-year-old Timothy Cofield is one of them. He says the other driver's name is not being released at this time. 2 people are dead after a shooting in Saluda County. Law enforcement went to do a welfare check at a home Tuesday night in Johnston, and they found 49-year-old Patricia Perry and 47-year-old James Perry, both dead from at least one gunshot wound. The Saluda County Sheriff's Office and SLED are investigating that, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more about the case. With another holiday weekend approaching, the travel trauma continues for thousands of passengers. Southwest Airlines has now canceled more than 13,000 flights since last week's winter storm, with another wave of cancellations coming today. As Michael George reports from LaGuardia Airport, the airline is predicting relief by Friday.
Southwest Airlines canceled another 2,300 flights on Thursday. That's about 58% of its schedule, according to the FlightAware tracking service.
We were boarding the plane. The pilots were there, but they didn't have a flight crew.
The carrier now says it expects to return to normal on Friday, days after the other major airlines bounced back from the Christmas storm. The travel glitches may have affected more than 1 million passengers.
You know by now, all the flexibility and planning that we put in place to deal with the storm just wasn't enough.
Unable to reach customer service reps, exhausted travelers have scrambled to rebook with other airlines or line up for a dwindling supply of rental cars.
I think I've made my last flight on Southwest. I'm going to other airlines.
And for Southwest travelers who do finally reach their destination, those who checked a bag are facing another challenge, finding lost luggage.
I was told my luggage would arrive on the next available flight that has been sent. But so far, no luggage.
Hector Leon Rivera spent Christmas in California's Bay Area without his bags.
I'm hoping they're here in the mess of everything, but I have no idea.
While in Chicago, the sounds of relief. After 2 canceled Southwest flights, Patrick Keene was finally reunited with his bag.
I just haven't had this bag in a week. I've been wearing other people's clothes.
Southwest has blamed the disruptions partly on outdated scheduling systems. Both the flight attendants and pilots unions say they've complained about technological failures for years. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The meltdown at Southwest is now under federal investigation. The Brazilian king of soccer, and VA, will be housed in the McCormick Senior Center starting Tuesday, but that all came after a pipe burst, so dealing with a lot of stress from that. If you're going out to celebrate this New Year's weekend, AAA's Toe-to-Go program is happening as we speak. This weekend, downtown Augusta will look a little bit different than it does now, so if you're heading out, be sure you have a safe ride home. If not, you can take advantage of that service. It takes you and your car to a safe spot within 10 miles if you've been drinking.
So no one's going to know about it. No one's going to find out about it. But your car can get home. You can get home instead of you putting your life or the life of others in danger.
So those tow truck drivers will be out until 6 a.m. January 2nd. Tow-to-go is only for Georgia, so if you're in South Carolina, you can't use the service, but we have the number for you and more information on Wrdw.com. For many of us, getting in better shape is our New Year's resolution. Coming up, we hear from experts on how to start that fitness journey.
And as we go through the next couple of days, right now we're seeing lots of sunshine, but we are going to notice more clouds and eventually showers and storms developing as we go into the new year. We'll talk more about that forecast coming up next.